in this video, I wanted to show you how I create like a bark effect on my trees. I've just put chocolate buttercream around my top and I've iced the top just in fondant, and then I've just put some lines in it going towards the centre and around. Now, I apologise I didn't film it. I'd started the cake and then realised partway through that actually it might be something that you quite wanted to see, just so you know how easy it is to do this. So apologies that it has been started already. So what I've done is dyed a pale brown colour for like the base colour for my wood effect. So I'm going to take a small quantity of that and I'm just going to roll it out. Now it needs to be tall enough to go on the side of your cake, so I'm just going to roll it out. I don't want it too thin and it doesn't really need to be too neat at the moment. So I'm just going to put it against the side of my cake to see how it fits. So it's a little bit taller than it needs to be, so I'm just going to squash it and roll it out a little bit more. Like that. Now mine's a little bit marbled, which isn't on purpose, that is by accident, but it doesn't matter with it being the wood bark, because what we're going to do is put a bit of paint over the top, well, food colouring, we're going to paint over the top afterwards. Okay, so happy with that. Now I don't want it in that curved shape on the side, so what I'm going to do is just taking a knife, I'm just going to cut that little curved bit off. Okay, now I'm just going to wet the inside of my fondant, and I don't know how easy it is for you to see, but I'm just going to place it now on here next to the bit I've already put on. I'm just going to push it on lightly like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just taking the modelling tool, I'm just going to put some lines in, just literally just pressing in. I'm going to start at the top, putting some little lines at the top bit, which you should be able to see I think on the camera, and then down the side bits here, and you're literally just going to dig in, wave it about just a little bit. And you can push, if your icing's reasonably thick, you can push in quite hard, like that. Okay, so it starts to create a bit of a bark effect, and you can layer it up afterwards as well. So just swirl it around, you can keep going over if you want. You have some bits where you've got left bigger gaps, some bits where they're quite close together. Okay, and I'll go around the other side to see if you can see we're doing it any better from the other side. Okay. So I'm just going to push it a little bit as well. And then if you want some bits a little bit bigger than the others, just taking your fondant again. So I'm just going to roll like a triangle of it. Sorry, excuse me reaching over. Just put a bit of water on the back. Okay. And I'm just going to stick that on there like that. And again, just taking my tool, I'm just going to push it into what I've already put on. Just a little bit like that. Just so that you've got some bits in a bit more relief than other bits. And then you can just gently jab in little lines as well if you want different textured areas, like that. Now you can, if you want, add a little branch. So I'm going to take a bit of my fondant and I'm just going to roll it into a little bit of a cone shape. Now it's got a few cracks in, but don't worry too much. And I'm just going to take my modelling tool and just run some lines in just very roughly to start with. I'm just going to wet on the bottom of that. then where I want it to go, I'm just going to pinch it in. I'm just going to press it on there like that and just pull it out a little bit like that. Now you might find that if it droops a little bit, that you're best propping it up against something till it dries. Okay. So if you want to split it, just put your tool in and just split that like that. Okay. I don't know if you can see that very well. So you've got a bit of a branch coming off your tree there. So what I've done is the same all the way around. You can see. Added another branch. So what we're going to do now is colour it. And I'm just using the dark brown Sugar Flare food colouring that I've got. And I'm literally just going to dip my brush in with a bit of water because you don't want it too thick. Okay. And then what you're going to do is just start to paint bits between the cracks and just continue to add water so that it doesn't go too dark, and just pay particular attention to all the gaps that you've done. Apologies if I'm sticking my head in the way there, or if I didn't have it in the screenshot. So a little bit in the cracks, bit of water in with it to spread it. Okay. Obviously if you spend more time on it, you'll have a more realistic effect than if you're rushing it like I am doing now. Obviously if you want darker colour, just dilute it a little bit less. So if you want it in the deeper cracks, just put it in a bit less diluted. And make sure you're putting a little bit around the top so that you can see the difference in the colour from the top of your cake and the bark. So it's taken me a little while to do the painting part. The running the lines through is much quicker, but the painting part has taken me a little while. So you'll see I have done that all the way around, but it does transform it to looking a lot more realistic. And you'll see it doesn't matter if you weren't neat putting your lines in, and when you've painted it up it all looks fine. So you see where I've added branches. I've tried to keep it darker in like the deep creases and keep it lighter on the bits that stick further out, just to make it a bit more wood-like. Okay, so sorry I didn't film that from the very beginning, but that's your basic wood bark effect. Hopefully it has been of some help. And if you did like the video and would like to subscribe to my channel, please do. Also, have a look on my Facebook page for more cakes and ideas. Thanks.